So I'm back here in Texas at Bob's Prop Shop where we build replicas of the DeLorean time machine. This is like our 50th replica. We built these cars for Universal Studios in Orlando and Hollywood. This one's under construction. Guys are getting the flux capacitor fluxing, getting it ready to go. So this is what we do. We build these DeLorean time machines from scratch by hand here in Dallas, Texas, and I also have my location in Las Vegas where we're doing other stuff. So we're making these cars, we're making videos. There's Omar. Omar's busy walking in on the video. So I'm gonna, what are you working on over there?
The mold for the thing.
Oh yeah, thing for the, so this is what we're gonna talk about right here. I'm gonna show you this. I did a collaboration with a guy called Doc's Prop Shop, great prop maker. And what he did was he helped us build this remote, and I just put this little case together. And what he did was he provided us with some of these other props, and then our team, Momar over there, he put that together so it looks just like the one from the movie. And it's kind of complicated, not too complicated, but I'm going to show you what this thing does. Now, this is a Futaba remote that was used for radio control airplanes and helicopters and cars, whatever you wanted to use it for back in the 80s. So imagine 1984, this was a very expensive remote. Now I've put together this menu here of how this thing operates, and let me show you. So first, there's a switch here that you turn on. That turns on the system, and these little Duracell batteries that you see actually operate this thing. That turns on the speed speedometer gauge. Put the brakes on your DeLorean, of course, just like in the film. If you watch the movie, if you pay close attention, when Christopher Lloyd snaps this, he breaks the switch off. It's pretty funny. Now, the remote itself isn't working. It doesn't do anything. It's just here. We're going to start by this little toggle switch here. I've marked number 2 on the list. Which starts the car, which prompts Marty to say,
Get that thing hooked up to the car. Watch this. Yeah. Got it.
Switch number 4 up here, down. Now, watch this. Now that's the sound of this being pressed. And then we go to this long sequence. Now, once I start this sequence, I'm going to pay attention to the sounds, and this black button down here starts the speedometer rolling. I've kind of timed this, so here we go.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
So now the car is in the parking lot, spinning the tires with the brakes on. At 60, he releases the brakes, somewhere around there.
Watch this. What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour!
So this is blank because the car's now gone, which prompts Marty to then ask this question.
Jesus Christ, Doc, you disintegrated Einstein. Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Well, yes, we did, Marty. And now you can listen to the theme music, which I'm not allowed to play. And then also this. So that's how the remote works. So we're making these exclusively for our time machine customers as an option, and it will come in this custom case. We're only going to do a few of these and make it as an available option for people that want our DeLorean time machines. That one's going to one of our previous customers. We're also working on like a Knight Rider project for the same guy, well, actually for his brother. And this is like, we have all this Knight Rider stuff we're out here testing. We have to test each component as we go along. But you can kind of see that, you know, there's parts that are being manufactured right now. Lots of things going on. Shop's kind of a mess, but that's how it is when you're a mad scientist, you know? We use these reference photos of the original car. We've been doing this for going on 20 years now. I've started this project in 2004, building my first time machine. 20 years later, here we are. Let's see what Omar's got going on in here. He's making a mold. There's an upper console for that DeLorean waiting. See, we make molds of various different things. There's something that we just made. All kinds of projects. There's a flux capacitor. Ooh, radioactive label. I'm going to stick that on that box. That'll be funny. Mr. Fusions. People have seen these videos lots of times. But just giving you a quick little shop update. We got DeLorean and Knight Rider stuff. This Knight Rider we're building for this guy, we took a car and we just started from scratch. We finally got this. This is a 350 TPI motor out of a mid-80s Corvette, 85, 86, or 88, I think, Corvette. It's been adapted to go in this car. This is a full-blown nut and bolt, kind of almost a restoration, because just every single thing on the car, there's no rust, you know, but just every little door lock, every little switch, every little cable, it's just that whole wiring harness is being completely custom done. The rear end, all the brakes and the lines and the fuel tank and the wheels and the tires, and just, you know, by the time this thing is done, you know, just everything has to be replaced. And that's the way it is on these cars. All brand new stuff. But, I mean, we're trying to focus on just doing quality work, you know. Not too many places still do quality. You know, most of the Knight Riders you buy, they just kind of slap it together on an old Trans Am. All the door locks, ignition, everything is replaced. This car up here is an LS1 custom Knight Rider. It's not available for sale yet. When it's finished, it'll be available. This is another time machine we're working on. We need to repaint the fascias and things. We're just getting it mocked up. That's another DeLorean kind of in waiting. So I'll just give you an idea of what's happening here at the shop. We're possibly working on another Ghostbuster project. But I like to give these little shop updates. People like to see the stuff that we're working on. Over here in our machine shop area, I'll show you one of the rear decks Omar does. A lot of people try to recreate the work that we do, and they kind of just, you know, I don't want to criticize other people's work. I just want to compliment the work that we do and say that it's taken us a long time to develop a system of weathering in layers using not only paint, but other types of fluids and heat. A lot of people try to recreate what we do with spray paint, and that's not what we do. We're not using spray paint. Because you'll see people, they just paint the thing, or they whatever. And so there's, you know, you got to take a torch. You got to use oils and other things like that to recreate. And there's a lot of different schools of thought on prop building. There's people who will 3D print or CNC recreation of things. But the things that we make replicas of are cast from the original parts, right? I'll give you some examples of that. Like I've seen a lot of people, here, I'm going to slip through. They'll recreate like this box, for instance, out of CNC metal or out of 3D printing or some other kind of thing. But this is molded from the one that is on the screen used a car. So it's the same, it's from the same one, right? That's a good example. Omar's shutting down. He's ready for dinner. He's dreaming of dinner. But yeah, some of the stuff back here, like it's dark back here, but that's okay. Like this is molded from the real part. That's molded from the real part, you know. And so like this hose and things. And my argument is just simply like, I've seen some great replicas that people are making. They're fantastic work where they're making those out of like CNC turned metal or 3D print or whatever. But that's molded from the actual thing. So is that. And so like if I turn this light on here, as an example of what I'm trying to say is like, if you were to look at the texture There's no way to recreate the texture of this silicone fiber 1967 hose off of a Sikorsky helicopter. There's not a way to replicate that in 3D print or in CNC or in, like one of our other, I know another guy, he just takes a piece of PVC pipe and paints it orange, It's that kind of detail, in my opinion, the way that we do our cars. We put this rear window in just to weatherproof the car, but in the real car didn't have this rear window, so it's kind of impossible to do it correct. And we've made screen accurate versions of the car, but you can't take them outside, and you got smoke and gas and rain and water coming in, and it's just a bad idea. People want to actually drive these cars and use them, and you can use it as a daily driver if you want. But anyway, I've had people criticize me, and they go, "Well, Bob, you brag about things, or you're." Bob Gale told me, he says, "You self-aggrandize." And he's right, I have done that because we were just really proud of how we were doing our work as compared to other people that I feel like they weren't putting in the effort. They were taking the shortcut. They weren't taking the time to get these to be perfectly the right angles. You'll see a big pork chop here. And I just went about it the wrong way. It's not good to gloat. It's not good to spike the ball and dance in the end zone when you are successful and you do. That's not the right thing. And other builders are going to pick this apart and go, "Well, these aren't the right clamps." And you have to do certain things on a particular budget. I understand. It depends on what our client's needs are. When the client says, "Well, I don't have, let's skimp here and in other places." So I feel, and this might be a controversial statement, okay, but I feel like there's certain things that you can glaze over and other things you don't. And they feel the same way. So other prop builders go, "Well, we'll glaze over these things and we'll concentrate on those." And everybody has to nitpick and pull because you've got 6 different cars from the 3 movies and none of them were identical. So which car are you building? Which scene? There's a scene in the mall parking lot, well, we don't have the torn blower in there, where they accidentally put the whole panel in upside down in one of the most important scenes of the movie. So you can pick and choose what stuff is the most important to you. And that's up to you. Anyway, just kind of roaming around the shop. I'm going to go get something to eat. I just wanted to show you kind of some things we're working on. We're still in business. We're still making these cars. And we're going to keep making these cars till there aren't any left. That's what we do. I'm like the Dr. Mengele of DeLoreans. That's okay. That's fine. So just sharing you this remote. We may offer these up for sale. These are extremely hard to get. And just to give you an example, this would sell for about $2,500. That's what this prop would go for, if it were available. Don't bother contacting me asking me for one. I don't have one for sale. When I have one for sale that's not claimed by one of my 50 customers who owns a time machine that wants one of these, I would put it on eBay. But that's the money I would be asking with the case and the batteries. And maybe you can find a cheaper version somewhere else. That might be possible. But if you want this one, or if you want one of the ones we make, that's what it would cost. My customers have been begging me for these for years, for stuff like this. And we just haven't concentrated on these little small parts. We've been busy working on the cars, not the little props, And so this was just something we did really as a favor for one of my clients. He just had to have it, and he wanted me to make it. He wanted me to make sure that we put our stamp of approval on it, and that's what I did for him. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. There we go. Here I am. Check us out on the Tubi network and on Amazon Prime. Screen Machines, our TV show from 2014, is like 10 years ago, but you can still watch it. I still look the same, I think. Check it out, Screen Machines. If you want a DeLorean time machine, check out bobspropshop.com and Bob's Prop Shop on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything else. And we'll get you a car. We sell these cars. I don't mind talking money. We sell our DeLorean time machines at an average of about $150,000 a piece, turnkey. If you send us your DeLorean, you're looking at spending about $100,000 to get everything done on it. It's a lot of money. But the way we do this car, it's going to be exactly like the original car, Matter of fact, there's the original 8 car sitting at Kevin Pike's shop. So that's what we do. This one and the other one, I think, will be available soon. And that LS Night Rider also. So there you go. So this one, I mean, it's just, we basically rewire the car. You can see how it's a mess in there. They're rewiring everything. But when we're done, it'll be solid, and that's what's important. So if you've been looking for a DeLorean Time Machine, hit me up on any of the socials. I'm Videobob and Bob's Prop Shop. There it is.